Rent to rent is a low money down strategy, right? But what happens if you've got a lot of money? On this video, I just want to break down what happens when you've actually got a lot of money and you do rent to rent, because most people associate rent to rent with no or low money down. It's like the go-to strategy for people with no money. But I'm still doing rent to rent, and yeah, I started with not much money, but now we have more money, and I'm able to see the power of rent to rent when you do have money to invest. So over the summer, I realized that in order for us to scale our business to the next level, we had to increase the cash injection into the business. What this means is, typically, when you're doing one rent to rent, you might just put 5 grand down and then wait for the cash flow to be generated, and then you do another deal with the cash flow. Great, but very slow. So what we did was we did 5 or 6 deals super quickly, and we injected 20, 25 grand. The results I saw was just profound, because what happened was we essentially managed to secure 5 grand of extra net monthly cash flow over a couple of weeks. And then I did it again and again and again. And if you've joined any of my masterclasses or one of the most recent ones that I held in December, you will notice the cash flow just went like that. And that's because I set up tons of deals. I've got another example of a gent, a mentee, and there's actually a video on this, Lewis, if you search it on YouTube. And he actually started with a decent amount of investment. And he spent 20, 25 grand on his first deal, which was 4 luxury apartments. And he managed to generate big cash flow really, really quickly. I'm talking about 10 grand on one deal. So if you're sat there and you're thinking, do you know, I was going to do a BRRRR, or, you know, I'm saving up, or maybe, you know, rent to rent's not for me, or maybe a lot of people do this. I've got 50 grand. I'm just going to put 10 grand in rent to rent. Maybe you should explore the idea of scaling your rent to rent business a little bit more aggressively, because after all, rent to rent is a property business. And the key thing with businesses is there are going to be other expenses, and it's not a real business until you take yourself out of it, right? You watch Dragon's Den and you see these people, investors, these entrepreneurs that have got businesses and they're still not paying themselves. That's no business. We've got a team of 8 now. Everybody gets paid decent wages. A lot of people are getting paid, you know, better wages than they were in their jobs. And we have business expenses, we have a marketing budget, we have accountancy fees, we have maintenance fees. Everything is accounted for to ensure that the business is self-sufficient. So if you're sat there thinking rent to rent's a low money down strategy, yeah, it is. And you can do rent to rent with low money. But if you've got big money, do not undervalue it, okay? Because you could do some serious damage. If you'd like to know more about this, join me on the Creative Cashflow Facebook group. It's an absolutely amazing community where we talk about things like this. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.